Welcome back, comic book collectors and enthusiasts. My name is Brandon. You're watching Mon-Comics. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for taking a moment out of your day to stop and watch my video and see what the heck I'm getting up to this week. I got some Monmail Mighty 5. I haven't done this in a little bit as far as talk about 5 books that I've gotten over the past couple months. But before I do so, again, thanks everyone for stopping the channel. We are heading into the holidays, and like the regular world of family and get-togethers and Christmas or Hanukkah and whatever you celebrate starts to roll and get hectic. So are we here at Mon-Comics. I just wanted to say about what's going on coming up. If you subscribe to my channel, I'd greatly appreciate it. That way you can hit the notification bell and see what I got going on. Sometimes I release videos every Friday, but sometimes I have some random ones throughout the week too if I have time. It'll also allow you to see a couple things I've got going on this week. So this video will drop Friday. On Monday, I am actually going to be a guest on Comic Book Addicts with Scotty Vaughn. Scotty is just a sweetheart. We just kind of connected talking comics ever since I started YouTube. He's been really supportive. You can find him on YouTube at svaughn82. It starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time. And we're just going to get on. I'm going to bring some comic books to show. I'm also going to show him something that I should have done in Ricky's All Sorts of Words, like What Else Do I Collect video. I didn't even think of it at the time, but I have a small but growing, and I would call it very significant autograph collection that I'd like to show. So I'm going to bring that over to Scotty's page. Check him out on Instagram, check him out on YouTube. He does some really great stuff, and his show Comic Book Addicts is really great. It airs every Monday at 7:30 p.m. It's part of the Legion's Monday night lineup, and Scotty's just, you know, he's a good soul. And he tells his story and where he's been and what he's done, and he's real, and I appreciate that, so I can't wait to come on that show. As we move to Friday, we've got Christmas with Cousin Colossus. That's right, my good friend Ryan over at Colossus Collector is doing a Christmas special with special guests from all over the gambit, like myself, Biggie McFly the comic bot guy, Mike from Lunch Money Comics, and Mr. Akins of What's on the Comic Rack, Ryan of Casual Collecting, JP and Rohan from Absolute Game of Nerds. It's going to be a huge show. Travis from Comics Limited, Dan from Instagram, Dan's X-Men Comics. He's going to start YouTube soon. A whole bunch of us. So we're going to have some games, presents. I don't know what else is going to go on, but it should be a pretty rowdy time. Now, that starts Friday night at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on Ryan's channel on the 8th. So check that out. And then the next night, on Mon-Comics Big 5 Live, December edition, I've got a really, really unique opportunity to invite 4 people on from the same channel. So the Codex Comic Station is a collaborative effort with a bunch of people, and they're just really putting out some great content. I've kind of been just going through it like lately. Jeff from Comic Spa turned me on to them. Mike from Lunch Money Comics been on with them, and I'm having Sal the Slab guy. I'm having Tim, Wes, and one who they've called Uncle Gary. I watched Uncle Gary's museum video. Go to their channel, check out their videos, subscribe to them, check out Uncle Gary's museum tour. You wonder what kind of museum a person can have? He's got a legit museum. Horror guy, I totally identify with that. So I'm going to have those guys on. That is going to be Saturday night, 8 p.m. on December 9th, 6 or 5 p.m. Pacific time. So please hit the notification for that. Come by and hang out. So yeah, some big things going on next week. So stay tuned and grab hold. We're going to ride the holidays out together. So let's talk about some comics. This first book, the first time I saw it, I think Biggie McFly, the comic book guy, showed it to me. And as a horror lover, and anyone who watches this channel knows I'm a nut for it, I was immediately drawn to this cover. This is Chilling Adventures in Sorcery, number 3 from 1973. I did do some research on this. It's very interesting. My buddy Bruce, longtime collector friend, Fets Vintage Toys on Instagram, dug a little more with it too. So Red Circle Comic Group is an imprint of Archie Comics that was come up with to separate, you know, Archie from this kind of stuff. And this is some amazing Bronze Age horror that kind of went under the radar. And I'm going to post a link that Bruce shared with me in the description. So anyone who wants to go and read about this and how this came about, definitely go do so. So not only do I love this great monster cover with just, you know, there's a demon and Frankenstein and a skull with, you know, what else do you want coming out of it? Snakes. I mean, it has everything for a horror lover. But what really drew me attention to this cover was this name right here, Gray Morrow. Gray Morrow co-created Man-Thing, and he not only did the art for this book, but he also scripted it as well. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, wow, this whole book is by him. So I got it. I will put some art panels up here. He does just absolutely wonderful art in anything he does. He's definitely on my Rushmore of artists. And then I dug a little deeper into Mr. Morrow's life, and it's kind of sad and tragic, but he was working in comics all his life. And then in late 90s, he developed Parkinson's. And it just got the best of him. Unfortunately, in 2001, he took his own life. So another talent gone too soon. It's tragic. We often hear about that. In anyone's life, no one knows the battles people are going through. But also when it's people we look up to, like comic creators or whoever you're a fan of. So it really hit me. It was kind of a bummer, but I will honor him and enjoy his work and spread the word. So Chilling Adventures in Sorcery #3. Hit that link below and check this out. Read this stuff. Great cover, awesome stories, and I'm just grateful to own it. Okay, this next book is purely for the game that a bunch of us are playing, where we go through a series 3 of the Marvel cards and talk about a character, and then if we have the first appearance, we get a point. It's like Ryan, the Colossus Collector, JP and Rohan from Absolute Game of Nerds, Mike from Moncomics, we're all getting in on it. So now we're scrambling to find these first appearances. Well, I got Submariner #50 from 1972, written by Bill Everett, and the cover by the great Gil Kane, who did a lot of Man-Thing covers and other monster covers. Significance of this, first appearance of Namorita. Namorita's mother was the first cousin of Submariner. I got this from Comic Fanatic 86. I talk about it all the time on Instagram. He does, his $5 and $10 sales, and he lists some keys. So this one's in really nice shape. Love the colors. The first appearance or not, as a kid, I was enthralled with any kind of creature that had lobster hands. As impractical as they are, I thought it was cool, and we're going to be more of a problem in my life than they actually are, because they're not at all. So really cool. First appearance of Namorita, Submariner #50. Mark me a point, boys. #3 is a slab. These are my last slabs of the year, of course, with the Amazing Spider-Man #50. That's it. But they were too good of deals to just pass up. So I actually have wanted this for a while, and the price has dropped significantly on it. It is Daredevil #131. Significance of this book, first appearance of Bullseye. This is from 1976, Marv Wolfman story, Bob Brown and Klaus Janson art, and Rich Buckler and Frank Giacomo cover. Now, Rich Buckler, you might have heard me talk about before, he was the first one to draw a Man-Thing on the cover of a comic on Astonishing Tales #13, which I am not a fan of. But this I can get behind. What great composition with Bullseye in the background and Daredevil in the foreground. And I just think he knocked this one out of the park. 3.5, but I mean, it looks great, and it's a big first appearance of a villain. Confession time, folks. I liked Daredevil from early 2000s. I thought it was a fun movie. Everyone's tastes are different. Whether it's good or not, is it going to win the Oscars? No. But it gave us the origin story of Daredevil. It gave us him falling in love with Elektra. It gave us the death of Elektra. Like, they covered a lot in that movie, and I didn't feel it was rushed. And I thought Ben Affleck did a good job, but Colin Farrell as Bullseye really sold it. And we had Michael Clark Duncan as a Kingpin. It was sweet. So, judge if you will. Sound off in the comments. Anyone else have a dirty little secret that they loved the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck? I mean, Jon Favreau was playing, Foggy, and he changed over to Happy. So, what a prolific Marvel career he's had. But yeah, so Daredevil #131. It was a really good price. Nice key appearance of a cool villain. I got this after watching Josh's comic books. Josh is a wonderful YouTuber, a sweetheart, and he has some big Batman Rogues villain books. But I saw he picked this one up from Joe over at 360 Comics. His is much better and much nicer and much higher grade. But I own it. Looks great. Put it on the wall. Like Tony Stark and Iron Man. Buy it, store it. FantasticFour spot. Nothing, huge this week. It's just a run filler. It's Fantastic Four number 83 from 1969. So end of the Silver Age, as we are getting down to issue 102, which ends the Lee and Kirby run. Of course, written by Stan Lee and art by Jack Kirby. Fantastic Four take on Maximus. It's not a key. It's just a run filler. It's got a cool cover with the Inhumans on front and the Fantastic Four. So Kirby with a giant fist coming out. Leave it to him. So just closing in on the Fantastic Four. I'm over halfway there. So we'll see what I can set for a collecting goal for next year for it. Okay, last book. I've wanted this book for a while, and I've been watching multiple auctions in different spots on eBay and such, and I pulled the trigger. As you all know, Frank Bruner, Man-Thing, #1 First Solo Series cover artist, did a lot of Doctor Strange, fantasy art. He's wonderful. He did this cover, and I needed it. It is a giant size Man-Thing issue 4 from 1975. So Steve Gerber story, Ed Hannigan and Frank Springer art, and a Frank Bruner cover. And of course, you can always see the Frank Bruner puts a sig here. But look at this. I mean, for the moment I saw this, I knew I wanted it. 7.0 is a pretty decent grade. I knew I wanted it good enough that the colors really stood out. But the emotion and the just how alive Man-Thing looks there, and I love that he's holding someone's hand and it's burning because they fear him. And Panic in the City is the most startling slime creature of all, stalks the hollowed halls of a terrified high school. It's beautiful. I'm so glad to add this to not only my Frank Bruner repertoire, if you will, but just this cover is great. So yeah, giant size Man-Thing #4. There you go. Awesome book. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. I really appreciate everyone's fun and support and comments that you guys bring. It means a lot to me. Like I said, we're going to the holidays. My first daughter was born the day after Christmas. So it's just nutty around my house. And then add in the YouTube stuff with Scotty Vaughn on Monday and Colossus Collector next Friday and the Codex Comic Station on Saturday. It's going to get busier. So please buckle up, grab your eggnog, let's hang out and get weird and just talk about comics. But I thank you all. Hope you have a great, safe weekend. Until next time, keep reading those comics.